DJ Uzi, DJ Uzi. DJ Uzi, DJ Uzi.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm coming back to you with a story time. If you have not seen my travel vlog of in London/Paris by now, please pause the video, go watch those first, and then the story will make sense as to why it's coming all together right now. But if you are a new viewer, please like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Ayana, once again, as I said before. I have a bunch of things going from here, makeup, travel, anything, you name it. So, I want to get into this story time. So, as you guys can see, I recently went to London/Paris in my previous vlogs. And everything was going to be great because like I've been working hard at work, so I was like really excited for this trip. I'm just like, you know, forget work, time to go live hot girl summer. But on the day of, it was just like a bunch of things happening. As I said in my first video with the vlog, my hair situation, and then, you know, going to the train station and just being excited to get to New York so that we can get to London the next day. So my train was 47 minutes late to be exact, which pushed our time back to get to JFK. We didn't get to New York until like 8:40 something when we were supposed to get there at 7 o'clock on the dot. The trains was actually coming pretty fast when we did get to New York, so we were just like hoping, like, you know, usually gates close an hour directly, not gates, but the baggage check closes an hour before. So we run into the airport and we're like, where is Air Europa? Yes, I'm gonna say their name. And they weren't there. So like I asked the supervisor at the airport, like, well, where are they? Like, they're supposed to be here. And they're like, oh, well, you're going to have to call their customer service line. Come on. You know how it is on customer service, and we're in the airport trying to leave, or our flight leaves in an hour. So what do you mean, call the customer service? I've been trying to do a lot of personal work, so I didn't snap on them. Like, my friend was like, oh, so that's just F us then? And he's like, well, yeah, okay. Alright, sir, let me get away from you because you're a test. But anyway, I literally went to call the customer service, Air Europa. It's a Spanish speaking airline. And I'm just like, well, they're supposed to be here. Like, we got here like an hour before. And they're just like, oh, well, no, you should have canceled it 24 hours before. And I'm just like, if we wanted to really cancel it, we wouldn't have been here right now. So the lady eventually ended up hanging up on me, all without me like being rude or anything like that. All I asked to talk to was her manager, and I guess she thought that was disrespectful. So I was dealing with that, and I'm trying to make split decisions. Obviously, I don't have that amount of money in my bank account in order to pay in cash for another ticket. Well, when I talked to Air Europa as well, they were saying, well, we're not going to leave out till Tuesday. If our flight is leaving from New York on Tuesday, we're not going to get there till Wednesday. Mind you, we were doing a week-long split trip, so we were going to be in London from Tuesday to Thursday. Thursday to Sunday, we're going to be in Paris. So to imagine to get there on Wednesday when we were supposed to get there a day before, it just wasn't happening. So I made a split decision and just used my credit card to pay for Turkish Airlines. They had a flight going out in like 2 hours, so we definitely were there way before we were supposed to. So that was just great. Credit card worked. Credit cards help you in the time of need. But we're just like exhausted at this point, just leading up to this point, you know, just being behind. I hate being late to places, so had to get adjusted to that and not let that like affect our whole like trip already. So we finally get on the flight, everything is chill. I do deal with like motion sickness, so I was happy that this time around I did not throw up. But I will say, like, plane bathrooms, they are so small. Like, I just can't get jiggy with it. But literally, we get to Istanbul because we had to make a stop in Turkey in order for us to get to London. And then I forgot to mention, when we were in New York, our flight still left late. So we got to Istanbul late. But in Istanbul, we were supposed to have a layover. So we're in Istanbul and we're trying to get to the gate in order to be able to leave. We finally get on the flight. This lady was in front of us. I don't know where she was from. I think she was probably from Somalia. Her bag drops in front of us, like on my friend's leg and on my foot. And she just walks away. Now, I should throw this at you. But you know what? Being a changed person. So my friend, she lifted her bag up and like put it to the side, and she was like complaining about something else. We just didn't understand what was going on with her life. Like, sis, we all had a night. So we finally get on the plane, get to London, and like we're excited because we're going to be in a Holiday Inn. Typically with Holiday Inns, they are pretty good. You got the nice bathroom, spacious, and we get to the Holiday Inn and I'm trying to use my credit card. We used my credit card in order to book the room. So we're downstairs and they're like, oh, well, your credit card doesn't work. I've had this issue in the past where my credit card didn't work at certain places. I have discovered. So now I got to reach into my savings in order to pay for this. And then all in all, like, my bank account was acting like it didn't want to transfer money at a point, so I'm just like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. They probably sitting there like, oh, you don't have no money, and then obviously if you can't get your money to transfer over, they're not going to let you stay at the hotel while we got these bags in our hands and stuff like that. And then something else I forgot to mention before we got to the hotel is just like how long it took to get an Uber in order to leave. At first we was going to catch a train, but I was just like so drained. I didn't feel like being on any more trains at that point. And we didn't get to our hotel till 10, but we arrived in London at 8. So back to the hotel, I was able to transfer funds from my savings account and pay for the room. We getting up to the room because, we're excited, like we're finally here, probably can lay down and just like everything should start coming into place. We literally get to the room, like, you guys know how hotel rooms are. Hotel rooms are usually spacious. You got a nice bathroom. It doesn't have to be the most gigantic, like, penthouse type room, but literally was in there, and when I tell you, it was a bed. Like, it was so embarrassing. Like, I really should have took pictures so that, like, I could put the scenes, like, right here so you could see what I was talking about. But I was, like, just so embarrassed to be in that room that I didn't take any photos of it. But it was, like, really despicable. And then, like, jet lag hit me something different this time around. Like, before, when I went study abroad, like, I was pretty fine, and I think possibly because, like, my sleeping schedule was kind of messed up in college, so it makes sense. And then now, like, I got a adult job, but so it definitely, like, took me by surprise. Literally, as soon as we got in the room at 8 something, was sleep. We had an event to go. We had to go to we scheduled to go to Air London baths. This is just a place with all different baths. They got different temperatures. You can just walk around. It's just like a big pool of water. I found out there that they have one in New York as well, so probably should go check that out. But we were scheduled to go to Air London baths at 2 o'clock. It was 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock. We did not set any alarms for the next day. I don't know why. Probably because we thought we was going to get up early, but mind you, in London, there's a 6-hour difference. So, like, you are waking up at normal time, probably early here in America, but in London time, it's the afternoon. My friend taps me at 1:04 in the afternoon, like,
Ayağını get up.
So I'm just like, oh my God, like, what am I doing? Like, we hurry up. I'm like, can I take a 5 minute like shower real quick and then, go, because you want to be clean before you go to like the baths and stuff. About to have your bathing suit. And then we was going to get a massage with that as well. So I was just like, by the time we got dressed and everything, it is 1:40. I'm calling the Air London Bath and I'm just like, we're in traffic, black people gotta always lie a little bit. Like, we're on our way. Is there any way we can still make our appointment? And so they're like, let me check with my manager. They pushed our time back to 3 o'clock. Mind you, when I said I was on my way, we literally was waiting for the Uber. So they was like, all right, we're gonna push it to 3 o'clock. I was like, ooh, like, we can finally get something. Like, after this, like, just horrible experience from getting from Philadelphia to London, this is like a win. So we are literally like in the Uber. We get there like before 3 o'clock and we're just like, oh my God, like, we made it. Like, just, this good feeling after like everything just seems to have gone like the worst in your life. So we go to the baths. It was just so relaxing. Like, I wish we could have had our phones in there, because then you guys could have seen like some footage, but they, due to other people's privacy, sorry about that, you guys. My SIM card got full, but that's beside the point. Anyway, the baths felt so great, so relaxing. Massage was marvelous. We had a glass of champagne, and I don't know, something in me just wanted to go to a club, just because of like the area we were in. It was like a lot of people there, and I wanted to book a ticket, but like, I guess was really indecisive, so we were unable to get the guest tickets, which would have possibly came with like a shot with the ticket. That's how usually they do in Europe. They give you a drink card with your ticket. So we weren't able to do that. We did go to an Italian restaurant. We were supposed to go to a Jack the Ripper walking tour. We paid for everything in advance because we thought we were going to be responsible adults, but that just didn't happen. By the time we got out the baths, because we pushed back what time we were getting there, we weren't even thinking like, oh man, we're not going to be able to make it. Anyway, but we were trying to figure out like, okay, if we take a train, will it get us there faster? Or if we take a Uber, will we get there? And nothing was like panning out, whereas though like, you're not going to make it, sis. So we just decided to go to the Italian restaurant, because we was going to go to the Italian restaurant originally before we went to the baths, because we didn't eat. So as soon as we woke up, we just went straight to the baths. So we were obviously hungry. We finally sat down and ate, where you saw me and my bestie like baddies, and you saw my hair was like crazy. Yes. We went down the street. We were going to try to figure out like where some clubs were happening. I was looking it up on Google, but like a lot of them were closed because we were there earlier in the week. So that was an experience. We went down this street, which led us to that local bar you saw, and this guy, he was just like looking me up and down like, sir, please back up, like, don't look at me like that, like, don't touch me. But literally it was just like, we went into a bar. We don't drink beer, and we're always, when I go to the club or anywhere they're selling drinks, I'll be like, I'm looking for something fruity. This guy, the apple cider you seen in that vlog, that was disgusting. Never again. Literally, I was trying to make it make sense. Me and my friend, we just busting it up, laughing and stuff like that, creating our own fun and joy, like, because nobody can take that from us. But we were sitting there chilling, grinding people up. It was the small man in the video. I don't know if you peep, but like, you can go back. I'm not gonna make like a big deal out of it, but if you pay attention to the video previously in the first one, you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, so we eventually go home that night, because we're just like, all right, we want to be able to get up on time to, one, get breakfast, because we paid for breakfast, and to be able to do whatever we scheduled for the next day. Well, honestly, I stayed up that whole night. So I stayed up to breakfast time because I set my alarm for 9 o'clock. I went downstairs to get breakfast, came back up, kept my alarm on so my friend could wake up and she could go get breakfast. The alarm went off. I tapped her, told her to go downstairs, go get food. She came back up, but she went back to sleep. Here we go again. We waking up late again. We were supposed to go to the Van Gogh exhibit, and it just did not happen because we just kept falling asleep. So when we woke back up, we was just like, all right, we're going to go downstairs to the pool. We go downstairs to the pool like you've seen in the first video. And we was like, all right, let's go sit in the hot tub. We go sit in the hot tub. The hot tub is lukewarm. This is not a hot tub. You just made me pay £5 one to get into like the pool in the hot tub, and we're here. Make it make sense. So we tell somebody, and he's like, oh well, we're gonna get it hot again. Why is it still cold? We go in the pool. The pool was actually like deeper than like we thought it would be, because it's like they ain't like no American pools. Like American pools get deep, but like at 4 feet it was like at my neck. I didn't understand, so I think they had their numbers a little mixed up. But literally we eventually left from the pool, and we was like, we were supposed to go to the London Eye. Our London Eye appointment was going to be at 5:45 I believe. We could not make it to our London Eye because we had ordered food from like room service, and we still was getting dressed. And we was like, I don't think we're going to make this London Eye on the train or in an Uber. It just was not going to happen. Mind you, we paid for that in advance of time too. Money thrown away at this point. Like, I understand the whole point of paying for things so that you don't have to worry about it later, but I'm not paying for nothing else anymore unless I'm in the city and I know for sure I'm gonna go. I know typically you plan out because sometimes things are sold out, but that's just gonna have to be a risk that I'm gonna have to take, because like, no, I'm not for throwing away money. So literally we go to this place called the Lip Bar. You seen scenes in that part from the first vlog with the lights and the African music. That joint was lit. That was like the most black people we seen in the area, and then like it was just like so hype. I was like hoping that we could have stayed a little longer, because then like the Africans that we met there could have probably pointed us to a direction to more Africans. Like, my people, like, we're not black white. But literally we had a good time there. We did some hookah. We was living our best lives, chilling, listening to some Bomb, Burna Boy, all this other good stuff. So the next morning though, we had to get up at 5 so we could go to the train station at 6. We'll be at the train station by 6 so we can check our bags in. So we get there on time. We're like just standing waiting for the doors to open, and then like stupidly me and my friend brought our tickets with my suggestion by ourselves when we should have brought it together, because then we could have sat together. But it actually worked out fine because, like, you know, them spaces be small. So she ended up not having nobody sit next to her, and I wound up not having nobody sit next to me. So I was able to like stretch out, because I went to sleep like an hour before we even left. Like, my sleeping schedule was something crazy. So we get to Paris, and I was actually going to meet my mom there because I paid for her a ticket to get to Paris, and I was like just excited for this experience for her because she's never been out of the country before. We got there early. We went to the hotel, and I'm looking at the area, and I'm like, I just know my mom. Like, my mom is like luxury. Like, she don't play that. Like, mm-mm. And I feel it because, like, I see a lot of her in me. Like, so I'm just like, I already know what my mom about to say. We get in the room. We didn't even get in the room yet, though. That's the thing. The downstairs is really nice. We couldn't check in until like 1 or 2 o'clock because that's when the room was going to be ready. So we stored our bags there. Obviously, we're hungry because we did not eat. We went to a restaurant, and it was like this nice pink awning. I think that's in my vlog as well. but the store next to it, and it served like American breakfast. It seemed like the safest option, American food. So we were eating, and like I get this call from my mom. Like I saw that she was there because like I was tracking her flight, and she's like, "I need you to call me an Uber." Call her an Uber. She's saying she don't see the Uber. I don't understand. I told her to do it from her phone because like when you got Uber, they'll be able to find you because you're on the map. And she was like, "Oh, I thought you was going to meet me." Why would I meet you like I got a car or something like that in a different country? Let's make it make sense. Like, I'm not about to pay for an Uber to go to you and then go back to the hotel. So it was just this big fiasco of her not being able to find an Uber, whereas though I did end up having to go all the way to the airport. I get to the airport. Why is she sitting on her suitcase, swinging her feet? Like, this is the stuff I've done. You can't make this up. They're like, come on. So I'm just like, are you serious? Like, I'm just looking at her because I'm just irritated at this point. Like, what are you doing? Like, you had one job. And she's like, I didn't see it. Like, I sat down when you said you was coming. And so, like, we get the Uber back. Now the Uber can find us, right? So we get to the hotel. Finally, our room is ready. So we're all seeing the room for the first time together. We get in the room, and it's like, okay, it's way more spacious. One big problem. It did not have no air. If you don't know, in Paris right now, it's hitting 100 degrees. Like, straight. You don't have no air. I already suffer from hot flashes. So, to be put in a space in an area where my mom get hot flashes as well. So, that just was not going to work. She complained to the hotel and was just like, we need air. And they're going to tell us to open the window. What do you mean open the window? There's no air coming from the window. And so my mom went downstairs and she was like, we need to switch a room. They brought us to a lower floor because when the hotel manager, I guess he came in, he saw that like our room had like the sun like beaming on it. Take us downstairs. We go downstairs, you know, rearrange our stuff again, and we got our feet up, and there's no room, there's no heat in here. I said heat. There's no air in here. What is going on? Like, this is an issue. This is a problem. And we was just sitting there talking, like, just about the situation at hand. And we're like, we gonna have to leave. So we're sitting there talking in the room because it's like, we cannot deal with this heat. We're gonna have to leave. We stayed up most of the night trying to figure out where we were gonna go because the Novotel was not it. I should have known from the neighborhood. But we eventually came up with something. We called the hotel and was like, we are dissatisfied with our stay. We want a refund. We're leaving in the morning. And they was like, oh, you gotta wait for the manager to come in the morning. We paid for the night, so we definitely were gonna go get breakfast that morning. And we were sitting there thinking about picking up our stuff so that we could take it to the other hotel and still make it to the Louvre. Was it the Louvre that yes, it was the Louvre. Or was it the Musée d'Orsay? It was the Musée d'Orsay. And the Louvre was going to be later on that night. So we made our way to the next hotel. It didn't have air conditioner, but they did give us fans, and we were able to like open our windows. It was like kind of like a studio type apartment with one bedroom. It was like actually really nice. And then like when you open the windows and you got the fans going, it makes that air we were looking for in the other hotel. So we, you know, set our stuff in the room. They gave us like this big water for us to share, and it was just like cool and relaxing. I called the Musée d'Orsay to say that we was going to be late because like I'm just always late on this trip, obviously. But we get there, and what happens? Okay, so we eventually leave to go to the museum, and we get to the museum, and you know, like we see these beautiful exhibits. The last time I went there, we only were able to go fully through the New York exhibit, so it was just like an exhibit full of black artists. It was just like so beautiful. So I was wondering what they had this time, and I think they had like, I don't know if he was French or Spanish, but he made the La Sagrada Familia. That's what he made, and it was like really interesting in there because like the Park Güell, I didn't know like where that name came from, so that was like really interesting. You know, we took some nice pics, as you'll see. Well, as you've probably seen already in the second vlog. If you haven't, go to the second vlog right now. But that was nice. Later on, well, after we left there, we went back to the like apartment, took a nap so we could get ready for the Louvre, and then go out to dinner that night. We got to the Louvre, but the opening entrance that we usually go through, it was closed. So I was like, oh my god. But it said that it's still open and stuff. So we went there, we just straight walked in. I was like, anybody can really get in here, huh, if they wanted to. But then when you get up to go to different places, you see that they want you to scan your tickets. So we get inside the Louvre, and you know, obviously we're trying to see the Mona Lisa because that's what everybody goes to see when we get there. They did have this Pharaoh exhibit that I was like really excited about because, you know, can't shoot the nose off my Pharaoh. A little Beyonce quote. But I'm getting off track. Anyway, we went to the Mona Lisa, see the Mona Lisa. Got some nice pictures right there, and it was like so nice. We were only there for a good second, and then we eventually went to the dinner. So like all those like Instagram picture view, we didn't sit outside, but we did sit inside, and it was like nice in there as far as like you know, just having a nice dinner. I had like a filet mignon, my friend and my mom had chicken. It was like really nice. You probably will see that in the vlog as well. But literally that was like beautiful. We took pictures near the Louvre Triangle. It was just so nice, and it was like cool at night, so it wasn't like extremely hot how it was during the day. But like that day I felt like we were really doing stuff, because like when we were in London, it didn't feel like we were doing as much because we were mainly sleeping, trying to catch up. So after that, we went back to the hotel, and you know, we got some rest because the next day we were planning to go to the Eiffel Tower. We didn't really have anything planned for like in the afternoon, but obviously my mom, she was experiencing jet lag like obviously we were, and so we slept like really late into the afternoon, and then get up, and then, you know, us getting dressed, we didn't get done until like 4. So we went to go get some lunch. It was this place, like, I'm going to find a place. If I find a place, I'll like put it like on the screen below, like right there. But they had central air. Like, it just was the most magical experience. Like, oh my god, it was something. Because when you haven't been experiencing air in Paris and you find a place that got air, you gotta bask in that. And so literally I had like escargot. If you don't know, it's Snell's. It may sound nasty, but don't knock it till you try it. It had, what did I have? I had some like beef and potatoes. It was, I'm gonna find the name of that place, man, because if you in Paris, make your way over there. They was doing a thing. But then we eventually went back to the hotel and got ready. I wanted to go to the Eiffel Tower at night, so like we could be on it as it was like lighting up and stuff like that. We didn't get inside the area of the Eiffel Tower until like 10 something. No, I think it was 10, because the Eiffel Tower closes at 11:30. So we had to wait in line, but the line was not as ridiculous as it probably would have been in the afternoon. I've actually waited in lines that were as long previously, but this line was like way shorter. And you know, we got like our nice flowy dresses on, you know, to fill that air up there. And as we are getting to the like to the front, mind you, we've been in the line for a little second, like not a little second, but we've been there waiting, and we get close to the front, and it's like, oh well, we closed the top. I was upset for my mom because I'm just like, I really wanted her to like go all the way to the top, even though the second floor is high, but like for her to experience the top of the Eiffel Tower, I think she would have really enjoyed that as well. But it was still beautiful. We got like some nice shots and views of where we were. The air was feeling great up there. Like my mom and my best friend was like, it is cold, but I was in heaven. Man, to understand my experience of not really feeling air and to finally get that cool air, I was like grateful. But this was our last night there. So, you know, while our flight didn't leave till 6 something the next day, we had checkout at 11 o'clock the next day, but I didn't even know we had checkout at 11. So I'm thinking it's at 12. Good thing we got up early and took a shower, and like all our stuff was packed up. Cleaning people came. We waited downstairs. Well, we actually went to go get something to eat at the same breakfast place that I was referring to in the beginning of getting to Paris. Took my mom there. We had a nice breakfast and then went back. And also something else that was like cool about the hotel was that they kept our bags because they knew we weren't leaving until later. So they was like, oh, you can keep your bags here. And we just sat downstairs, took a little nap. Like, it wasn't for that long though, because I was like up talking to my best friend, but I took a little nappy nap real quick, and when I woke up it was like 3 eventually. But all this, I'm trying to figure out the timestamp of all these things, but like I'm speeding it up obviously, but this was happening in a nice amount of time as far as like us getting there. But we get to the hotel. Oh my god, we get to the airport. That's where we went to. We got to the airport and we're thinking we just gotta go in, check our bags in, then we can go to the gates, because we're getting there 3 hours before, I believe. Or was it 2 hours? Either one. So we had to wait in this line because we took French B back. For some reason, their kiosk wasn't working. I don't understand. But we had to wait in line so that a teller person could give us our tickets. We're getting our tickets, and well, we're not even getting our tickets because we're still waiting in line. And then they had a nerve to say gates are closing in 10-15 minutes while we still in line, a long line to go get our bag tags. Are you serious? You see all these people here? When we finally got close to the top, they're talking about, oh, you got 5 minutes or we're gonna close the gates. You're not gonna close anything because it's not my fault that our bags are not checked yet. Y'all need to have more people out here to help y'all, because obviously something's not working. Like, people are about to miss their flights. So we eventually put our bags on. There was nobody there as well to load our bags. We had to load our bags ourselves. I did see my bag was overweight because for some reason every time I go abroad and try to put my suitcase back, it's always more than what it's supposed to be. But it was 50 pounds when I left. It was under 50 pounds when I left America. So it just don't make sense. But that's neither here or there. So literally, I'm like, nobody's here, so I wonder, are they going to get me or am I going to move scot-free? We go through TSA. TSA was being difficult as well. I had pins, like my hair pinned up, like in a wrap, and I'm like telling them, like, I'll take off my scarf, you'll see that I got pins in my hair. And they like, you need to take your pins down. I'm already heated from the experience of waiting for my bag tag. Y'all saying y'all gonna close the gates. Then you have TSA saying that, oh, you need to take them hairpins out your hair. After I just told you that's all it is. You can literally scan me from head to toe and see that is that. So at this point, I'm pissed. You guys are doing a lot for you guys to be like, oh, well, your plane is about to leave because all this extraness. I trying to calm myself down and just like breathe, but it's pretty hard to do that when you're already animated. And then they had my mom go into this room, check. It was something. So that's not even icing on the cake. We're taking the elevator down because the escalator is broken, and we're just like, let's take the elevator down. We take the elevator down. There's this long line, like wrapping around past the elevator to go to border control. Y'all doing all this? We in the country already. That's America. They try to make sure that it was just, I should have took a video or a picture. If I got a video or a picture, I'll insert it right here. But like the way that line was, I said, I'm not waiting in this line. My friend is the real MVP because she waited in that line for us. I was not waiting in that line. Like, are you serious? And she finally got up there. You could tell she was pissed as well. But it's just like, child, the ghetto. Like, I need to, at that point, I was re-evaluating life. Like, business class and up is about to be the move because this economy stuff, I deserve more than this. I need to treat myself better than this. All that traveling to New York and stuff like that, I need to leave my black self from Philadelphia, where I live. That's where I need to go. And that's about to be a move. Like, I'm about to just put the extra money to the side to leave from here because, no, I'm about to get a credit card as well that has the rewards towards miles and stuff. Like, I'm not about to keep doing this. Oh, absolutely not. So literally we get through border control and they tell us in a line that like they're not going to leave us because they know how backed up it was. We get through the border control and we're showing our passports and we get through. People are literally running. I'm not running for nothing. I'm going to walk to the gate because y'all got me messed up. This is highly unprofessional. Like, if you didn't know, now you know. Like, we got ourselves like a sandwich and a drink and eventually went back on the plane. Well, we went to the plane and got on. And just when I thought I was safe, they're like, you have to pay 100 euros for your bag being over. Wait. Are you serious? Yeah. You can't make this luck up, like, this bad luck up, because, like, this was horrible, like, but I already knew that, kind of. Like, I was hoping that, like, the universe was going to be nice to me, but, good things don't happen like that. So, I had to pay for my bag. They did, like, an extra search on my friend. I'm just like, we just went through TSA. Why are we still doing searches? They talking about it's a random search. She said, is it because I'm black? He's like, haha, no, haha, no. Like, nothing. Like, come on, bro. Like, why are you still checking her? And I'm like, what, you got to check me too? And he like, no, I don't got to check you. So, we get on the plane. There's air on the plane. It's just perfect. Anytime I'm on a flight, I'm going to go to sleep. You ain't got to worry about me. Like, when I'm going to sleep, it makes my flight quicker. I don't have to think as much, and I'm just good. Like, I'm cool. I'm chilling. Like, I would wake up periodically, and my, like, stomach just felt so better. Like, I had took my motion sickness medicine again, and so I just was hoping that it would work the same way it worked at that point. And I felt, like, really calm for the first time as far as, like, on the motion sickness front. We eventually made it to Newark because we had to fly into Newark because Newark was cheaper to get there. See, being a cheapskate, could have been home already. My step-pop, he was the real MVP. He brought my car downtown. He brought it to where our train was. And so, my car, my baby. I said, I missed you. Like, I was so happy because we didn't have to pay for no Uber or nothing like that. dragged my little bag down the street, and literally I packed my bag inside my trunk, and we were out. Went to go get something to eat, and then went home, went to sleep. It just felt so good to be home, to feel that air. Like when I came home, no, matter of fact, before I got to Philly, I told my little brother, I said, can you turn that air on? He said, sis, I had the air on for you all day. I said, the real MVP, you knew. But literally, I was just so like happy to be home and to lay down. Like, I had a great rest that day. Like, nobody could tell me different. I'll never take my air for granted. That's one thing I learned on this trip. Because I feel like when I went in the fall, you didn't have to worry about the heat because it wasn't summer. Fall is usually like nice and chill. If you want to travel, go to tropical places in the summer where you can get water, air, some pools, all that. Do that. In the summer, I don't think you should be like, I mean, you can, but you gotta have money for the nice hotels in order to provide you with that air. It sounds messed up, but that's just simply the reality of it. Make sure you put enough money to the side to be at a nice hotel so that you can have a nice experience. Because that heat, baby, 100 degrees, that don't look good on me at all. So that is my story time. That is my 2 cents of advice. You know, if you are to travel to Europe in the summer, be safe out there. Have sunscreen. That is something, even if you're dark skinned, black person, light skin, use that sunscreen. Protect yourself from skin cancer. That's important. But you guys, thank you. If you've made it this far, you are the true MVP, and thank you for listening to my story, because this was like kind of a traumatic experience for me, and for me to be able to sit here and talk about it is amazing. But let me stop playing. Anyway, comment, like, subscribe, share. If you had any similar experiences to this, missing flights, let me know down in the comments. Let's trauma bond. But I'll see you guys next week with another video. See you guys.
DJ Uzi.